Did you know that Krampus is often pictured with a bundle of birch sticks that he uses to beat children with? Now, I've looked into it, and you can't do much better, right? It's heavy, strong, shock resistant, and it has tremendous crushing strength. What? You don't need to know why I looked into it. Welcome to A Brief History of the Past. I'm Kaelan Burrows, and today we're exploring the history of Krampus. Krampus is a half-demon, half-goat who appears around holidays to punish bad children as sort of an anti-Santa. Wait, half-goat? Great. Now whenever I think of Krampus, all I'm going to be able to picture is this. Even though Krampus is closely associated with Christmas nowadays, his origins had nothing to do with it. The name Krampus is thought to come from the Alpine region of Germany, derived from the word Krampen, meaning claw. Krampus was the son of El, the Norse god of the underworld. Wait, the god of the underworld was named El? What? What's that? That's El with one L, and it was the original name of the land of the dead before later becoming the name of the deity. Well, that's confusing, isn't it?
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right.
The origins of Krampus are tied to pagan festivals that existed before the spread of Christianity. He is associated with rituals that were for the winter solstice. As Christianity gained prominence, it started incorporating pagan traditions into its own celebrations, no doubt to aid in converting people. One such Christian celebration was a feast day in honour of St. Nicholas, which is held on December 6th. While the Catholic Church tried to have Krampus banned due to his resemblance to their own devil, the bans never held up, and he ended up getting incorporated into St. Nicholas's celebration, becoming one of his sidekicks. Banning a devilish figure because he looked too much like your own devil? That is just so typical of Christianity. Oi, you heard of this Krampus bloke? People like him more than they like our devil. You know what we need to do? Ban him so they'll start liking our guy. Don't you mean so they'll start hating our guy? We don't want them to love the devil, do we? Well, no, but you got to play the game, you know? So you get them to like our guy just enough to get them to go to the church, and then you hit them with all the bad stuff. Saint Nick has had a number of sidekicks, each from a different part of the world. Northern France has Father Whipper, the Netherlands have Black Pete, which I touched on in my History of Santa Claus video, and parts of Central Europe have Krampus. Now, while each of these helpers is unique, they all have one thing in common. They're evil. Wait, what now? Since St. Nicholas was, well, a saint, he wasn't allowed to punish children, but his helpers could and did. On the evening of December 5th, St. Nick and the gang would visit children. If they was good, St. Nick would leave them gifts, but if they was bad, the helpers would beat them, kidnap them, eat them, bake them into cookies, and presumably eat them, or drag them to hell. The H-E-double-L, hell, not the confusing one. Wait, hang on. I don't care if he was a saint or not. If he just stood by and watched his helpers murder children, he was just as evil as they are. In fact, I think he was in on it. Oi, you were naughty. Don't even try to deny it. I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. I know when you've been bad or good, and you've been a right little so me boys here are going to tune you up. In Central Europe, December 5th became known as Krampusnacht, which translates to Krampus Night. In much the same way that parents will sometimes dress up as Santa for the benefit of their children, adults would dress up as Krampus to frighten their children into good behaviour. Yeah, like they just jumped out and said boo. The legend says children were beaten for a reason. I was raised in the 1980s, and I used to get beaten with a thick leather belt for discipline. These parents definitely dressed up so they could beat the piss out of their kids and blame it on a demon. I'm glad my mum wasn't privy to that devious plan. She'd have loved it. Good. Another tradition tied to Krampus is the Krampus or Krampus Run. During a Krampus run, adults would dress up as Krampus and run through the streets scaring children and, doing general Krampus stuff. Like drinking beers, probably. Maybe a luge. Anyway, unlike Krampus Night, Krampus doesn't have a set date, but it's generally done around the same time of year. This tradition actually ties back to Pashtunlof, a pagan tradition in honour of Pasht, a goddess and protector of beasts. people would dress up in costume and march in processions as part of the celebration. It is thought that Posh turned into Krampus over time, resulting in Krampuslauf, which is still celebrated today in many places as a parade with loads of people dressed as Krampuses? 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 Krampusi? Krampen? No, Krampen was German for claw, so... What's the plural on that? Or is it like moose? As in, I just saw a gaggle of Krampus. In the 1890s, the postcard industry picked up in Germany and Austria, and Krampus found his way into greeting cards, resulting in Krampuskarten. Now, these greetings from Krampus would depict scenes of Krampus beating children with sticks, leading them away in chains, or stuffing them into his bag. Wait, and these were popular? How awful were European children that their parents had to threaten them with a demon to get them to behave? Suddenly a lump of coal at Christmas don't seem so bad. Not that I know what it's like to receive coal for Christmas, because I've always been good. Right, Mum? Don't get the belt. I've been a real good boy this year.
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak.
Krampus celebrations were actually outlawed in Austria after the election of Engelbert Dollfuss in 1932. In the 1950s, the government even handed out pamphlets that said Krampus is an evil man in an effort to dissuade children's interest in the character. Well, that's just stupid, isn't it? Right? Krampus is an evil man. He's not a man, is he? He's a demon goat. Children love goats. You're not going to keep them away with a bit of reading material. What a bunch of gits. I would like to apologise for my previous statement. I don't think your politicians are a bunch of gits. I was actually speaking about the country as a whole. I would like to apologise for my apology. So to all the Australians out there, what? What do you mean Australians aren't from Austria? What? 2 countries? What? Look, they need to sort that out. All right? I can't keep track of all the countries that begin with Ost. The popularity of Krampus in Austria would pick back up in the late 1990s and hasn't waned since, though some countries didn't even know about the character until more recently. While the Christmas tradition came to America fairly early on, Krampus didn't make the boat trip. In fact, the character wasn't widely known until the early 2000s. Some attribute the Krampus craze to a graphic designer named Monty Beauchamp, who published a book in 2004 filled with pictures of Krampus greeting cards. He also organised a Krampus-themed art exhibit. Great. Now I'm just thinking about tastefully done nude paintings of a goat man. You think they sell anything like that at Sotheby's? Sick. While it isn't fully known why the popularity of Krampus spread in the United States, it did so rapidly, even getting a theatrically released film in 2015 from Universal Pictures called Krampus. The title seems fairly obvious now that I've said it. Many other low-budget horror films have also been made about the character. Some believe his rapid growing popularity was in response to the over-commercialization of Christmas. Oh, please. You're only saying that because Black Friday lasts an entire month now. Yeah. There you have it, everyone. A brief history of Krampus. If you want some more holiday history, you should check out my history of Santa Claus. In fact, you should check it twice. Do you get it? Because of the words of the song. What are your thoughts on Krampus? Are you Team Krampus or Team Santa Claus? Or do you ship them together as, you know, Krampus Claus? Or Sampus? Anyway, what sort of history topics would you like to see me cover in future videos? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, and I'll see you all in the future. The name Krampus is thought to come from the Alpine region of Germany, derived from the word Krampen, meaning claw. Krampus was the son of El, the Norse god of the underworld. Wait, what's the line? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a share. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more brief history of the past videos go up. Happy Krampus night, everyone.